takes a village, where we sit down with candidates from all over the country to discuss a wide range of issues brought by you, the viewer. I am your charming and furious host, Political Jess, and I'm not going anywhere. Speaking of our guest tonight, she comes to us from the great, or not so great state lately, of Texas, running for House District 108. Is that right?
That's right.
108, please give a warm and amazing welcome to the incomparable Allison Mitchell.
Thank you.
Before we get started taking questions from the village people, working title only, let's start things off with a little icebreaker, if you will. So I like to, you've heard of the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back, right?
Yes.
The straw that broke the camel's back. We're not being hit with straws. We're being hit with the whole damn camel. It's the whole camel all the time, constantly being bludgeoned with it's highly uncomfortable. So what was the camel that broke your back that inspired you to run? And if you could give us a little synopsis of who you are and where you're running.
Sure. So people ask me why I decided to run all the time. And the answer is my kids. That's why I decided to run. I have 2 kids who are on the autism spectrum. Our son in particular is non-speaking. And, when this administration started to get its claws into the world of autism, the research of autism, the opinions about autism, I really, my ears perked up, because anything that this administration touches when it comes to healthcare research is, I think, in a lot of danger, considering that they've defunded almost everything that they touch, unless it's some kind of religious white supremacist tool. So that happened. And then in Texas, our legislature passed school vouchers, which is a program that takes tax dollars away from publicly funded schools and puts some of it into private tuition. So people who have kids in private school can apply for tuition help, and those are tax dollars that they get for that help. So it defunds our public schools, which are already underfunded. Texas hasn't funded public education since 2018. This last session, they did, dole out some funding and some teacher pay, increase in salaries, but it hasn't happened since 2018. So there's really no accounting for inflation, cost of living. And it's, one of those things that they, were patting themselves on the back about, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. Plus, they've already defunded our schools with the vouchers. I have a daughter in public school. She's in kindergarten. And I just thought, what? Hurting people, hurting constituents, that's awful and horrifying. But when you hurt children and when you take away opportunities from children, that's it for me. That's a hard line, and not on my watch. So I decided to run, and been campaigning since April.
That's amazing. And what people don't know about you, or they might not know about you at this point, is not only did you used to have a super fancy handbag line that you used to sell in, Paris Fashion Week and New York Fashion, like you've been to all of the things, right? But you also wrote a children's book.
I did, yeah.
So how does your creative brain, how does your amazing, beautiful creative brain, by the way, which is amazing, and not people don't give enough credit to us creatives. I'm just saying, lots of back patting of ourselves here.
I feel you. I get what you're saying. Yes.
So how do you plan to use that amazing creative brain and storytelling to empower young Texans?
Well, that's a really good question. Right now, I haven't really been talking to a lot of younger people. It's really me selling myself to all the older people, because politics is really full of people who are at least 20 years older than I am. So it's the battle right now is being a young, fresh, new politician with no experience, and hoping that they get on board with me, which I have had a lot of success with their support. But, part of your question, I think, is how do you use the power of a creative brain to be effective in a place like politics, which is so boring most of the time. A lot of attorneys, a lot of attorneys.
Yeah,
I am
and
like,
doctors.
a doctor is so weird. My dad's a doctor, and I'm like, I don't know it. Doctors to me don't make the best politicians, but that's just,
Mm-mm.
I'm a little biased because I've grown up with so many of them. But, you know, it's when you do what I did, so I launched my own handbag line in Dallas, and as we got traction, I went to New York. I got picked up by a showroom. I had all of my factories in New York. I was importing materials from all around the world. I started working with larger department stores like Bergdorf Goodman, which, you know, they took my collection for holiday one season. It was the season kind of before COVID, so you know, it's like, could we have gone further if COVID hadn't shut us all down? I don't know, but it was,
Oh,
you know,
that's a $1 million question, isn't it?
it was amazing to be accepted into Bergdorf Goodman. You know, they see just so many incredible designers and collections all day, every day, and so that was really a moment. But you know, it's beyond just the creativity of design. Fashion is like 1% design, 99% business.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be a creative problem solver. You have to be a good reader of people. You have to know how to get many different people moving in the same direction to accomplish the same goal. You have to be able to be likable, quite frankly. No one's going to
Yeah.
work with someone who's rude or uppity or doesn't pay on time or doesn't consider, you know, their schedule as well. And this is just business acumen, and you'd be surprised how many people don't have it. It's stunning to me, because it seems like they're successful, but then, you know, when they shut down and you wonder why.
Yeah.
But those skills from that world are extremely applicable in politics. And you know, while I don't really get to sit down and, you know, work on a creative project or paint, or, you know, I do when I can. Even though I'm not getting to do that kind of stuff, there's still a creative element to all of this.
Definitely.
And I find it everywhere that I look. And I think that's just a way of looking at the world that creative people have.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Thank you for popping up, Making Magic. What questions do you have for our candidate today?
Hi, Allison. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Well, I am in the great state of Michigan,
Mhm.
so I don't get the honor and privilege to cast my vote for you.
Oh,
But what happens in all of our 50 states affects all of us. What is when you get elected, because I'm sure you will, what is your goal to protect our Constitution, like freedom of speech? Because I don't know if you guys seen the Miss Brockman in Chicago being thrown to the ground. She was a WGN producer
mhm.
just for being a member of the press and asking those hard questions. ICE agents did that, but just what is your goal to protect our Constitution?
Well, you know, at the state level, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot I can do at the congressional level for the American Constitution. That responsibility is going to have to be in the hands of our congresspeople and our senators. But as far as my state, which, as you know, is basically it's like ground zero for Project 2025. Anything that happens in the Trump administration happens in the state legislature of Texas.
Yep.
So we are absolutely keeping an eye out for the same violations that we're seeing happening all across the country at the hands of ICE, at the hands of this administration. If they're going to happen anywhere, for sure, it will be here in my home. And, you know, when you get elected, the way that the legislature works is our Constitution functions almost like a giant fluctuating law. So it gets amended regularly. And it's not that hard to do, and it's not that hard to undo. So a lot of our propositions and amendments sort of read like just regular laws that should be passed. So, you know, who knows what we're going to see from now until next November, which is the general election, midterms, my election. And then when I win, I'll be sworn in January of 2027. So between now and then, We'll have to see what goes on, what happens. And if we are facing some real issues with protecting freedom of speech, that I'm going to have to use all of my skills and powers to whip the House into proposing amendments to protect that for my state.
Great.
Good.
Thank you so much. And I wish you the best of luck. And I know a lot of people on this app from Texas, and I will definitely be spreading the word of your election race and telling them to get out and do the research on you. But I wish you all the best of luck. And like I said, if I could vote for you, I would definitely cast my vote for you.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. I really appreciate your question very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jess,
Magic.
for having me.
Of course, anytime, you're always welcome. Thank you so much. I'm going to drop you now.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I tell people this all the time. Texas has been first, but your state is next. You know, when it comes to the gerrymandering and all of the, hanky stuff that they're doing. So it's something we definitely need to keep an eye out for. Just a reminder, guys, if you have a question for our candidate, please request up. In the meantime, I have a bunch of questions for you as an entrepreneur. What policies would you champion to help small businesses thrive in District 108?
Well, this is such a pertinent question because one of the propositions that is on the ballot in this November for our Texas Constitution amendments is they are talking about raising the tax exemption on property tax for businesses. So that's inventory, that's equipment, basically anything that produces revenue that the business owns can have a tax exemption. The current exemption is $2,000, but they want to raise it to $125,000. So what this means is it's much more meaningful and more helpful to small and mid-sized businesses. And it's not that great for large corporations, which Texas has plenty of those. And believe me, we have plenty of corporate tax breaks in this state that I don't agree with because they do nothing to help the average taxpayer. But this particular kind of small business, mid-sized business focused relief, I'm going to vote yes for it because I have paid tax on inventory. And I'll tell you what, if I had to pay tariffs when I had my business because I was importing from all over the world, I truly don't know if I could have done it. I would have had to take out loans. I would have had to have, credit rings. I would have had to find investors, and that stuff sucks. It's just really, it works if it's part of your plan, but for me, it would have been terrible. So a tax exemption like this would really help offset some of those tariffs.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have, I'm sure you're aware of your constituents in your district. Do you have a lot of farmers in your district who are in the middle of absolutely panicking right now?
Oh, my heart goes out to the farmers. I like farmers. I really just believe in it. I know that most of them are Trump voters, and I know that people get real sensitive about that and, are hurt by their vote and now irritated that they're all upset and struggling and are asking for help. But, we're all on our own journey. We're all make mistakes. You just don't know what someone's been through. And so, but the long answer to your question is no, I have no farmers in my district. I always tell people, so I'm in District 108 in Dallas. So when you think about Dallas, right, and you think about the jewelry and the wealth and the hair and the Mercedes and, the cops on horses and the cowboys and the petroleum club at the top of that's my district.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, not King of the Hill. Like if King of the Hill were in,
Beverly Hills,
Trump Tower or something. Nice. I mean, these are, tough talking cowboys that are worth billions of dollars. These
nice.
are oil and gas tycoons. They're all in my district.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So it's a very wealthy district. I'm not by any means. But, and we have a lot of people around that sort of concentrated wealth area in my district that are just regular average, tax-paying people. That's where a lot of the Democrats live.
Nice.
But there are some very wealthy Democrats as well. But so, no, I have nothing rural at all about my district. It's very urban and there's a lot of money in it.
Is your opponent a Republican?
I do not have an opponent.
You
I am
don't
running
have
unopposed. Well, for the primary. For the
Really?
primary, at least I am running unopposed, and we cross our fingers to keep that going. I think the last filing date is December something. So, we've got some months. Anybody can jump in. I mean, we've
You
covered
better
a lot of
not.
ground. Huh?
You better
I
not.
know, right? I'll send them your way if they dare, if they dare. But, it would be hard for them to cover the ground that we've covered.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping not. And, but so my opponent, interestingly, has not filed yet. So my opponent would be the Republican incumbent who I'm wanting to flip the seat from. And that I don't know if that really means much. He's been the incumbent for 10 years. Everybody loves him in this district, but his recent voting, where he's been told to vote the way the Republicans want him to vote, has upset a lot of people, particularly the school vouchers vote, because a lot of people, even the very wealthy people, have kids in public school.
And they didn't want that. Nobody wanted that. Like we didn't.
No, nobody wants
wanted
that. And believe it or not, there are a lot of Republican voters who are just concerned about all children.
Amazing.
I know you would never think, given the personality types we see on TV, but it's true. They're out there, and so he has not filed to run yet. I expect that he will. I don't think he needs to anytime soon, but we'll see. He does have a MAGA opponent who has filed to run in his primary, so
Really?
there's a possibility I could be running against him. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, you're just a little further away from me. So I can support you, but I can't vote for you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I totally would. So let me talk to you about some Texas specific issues here. As you know, the last legislative section feels like a total just gut punch to anybody who has any sort of empathy at all. It feels like the nationalist wing of the Republican Party got just about everything that they wanted out of that legislative session, right? They got the bathroom ban for trans people. They got the healthcare thing. They got just about everything that they wanted. So yes, it's the Christian nationalists. They got their redistricting too. So what would you say to those of us who are in the LGBTQ community, whose voices have been stifled by redistricting, people of color, trans people, women whose healthcare is under attack, those who really feel unsafe in Texas right now, remembering, of course, to use TikTok safe language? What would you say to those people?
Well, the fact is, a lot of those people are leaving the state, and it's a terrible thing because that means we lose talent. We lose talent, we lose perspective, we lose artists, we lose a lot of people who have a lot of potential. It's hard because Texas is such a diverse state, meaning here in Dallas, we have one of the strongest Democratic groups in the city is an LGBTQ group called the Stonewall Democrats. They are wonderful, they're well established, and they are a very powerful group. They sway a lot of votes. And I'm talking like votes outside of the LGBT community. It's not just them. They really hit the ground hard for candidates that they support. But, if you're in a more rural area and you don't have a Democratic group in your neighborhood, or you don't have an LGBTQ community, it's a hard thing to know what to say. It's because the answer is find community, but if you don't have it around you, what are you going to do? Move somewhere else, or do what you did and start a TikTok community?
Yeah.
I mean, the answer is find your people, but I can't say that because some people just don't have them. And that's a terrible, awful thing. So get on TikTok and join Jess's community.
Hey, from the horse's mouth. I like it. Let's do it. Yeah, there's things to have hope. There's reasons to hope, right? It's Greg Abbott is he running again? Running. I shouldn't use that word running. He's not running.
He's resuming
Voldemort.
his throne.
Yes. I don't think he's got. I don't think he's going to be able to succeed again. Um, and I honestly think that a lot of Texans are just fed up with all of the culture war bullshit. To be perfectly frank with you. So my hope when I moved here, I mean, I know that a lot of people were like, "Why did you move to Texas from California? Why did you do that?" And
What
because
what city are you in again?
I'm in North Fort Worth. That's about as clear as that is. I mean, it's a huge area. I don't want to get any more specific than that, but
I'm
North
so sorry.
Fort Worth is where I'm at. And people looked at me like I was crazy. Why did you move? Well, because first of all, um, I want to be one of the reasons that Ted Cruz loses his seat. Okay. And I also want to be one of the reasons that this state actually starts to represent the people that live here, finally. Because let's be honest, Texas has been run by Republicans for over 30 years, and yet Democrats are blamed for high taxes, low education rankings, immigration policies, and infrastructure issues. With all that being said, what would you do to change that perspective and bring more people to support you without wavering on your convictions?
Oh boy, you ask good questions, Jess. Some I've
I
never
know,
even
I've got a
considered
little practice.
before. Girl, how do I even answer that? It's like that's the hill to climb, you know? I mean, you have to think about how do people get their information. I mean,
Yeah.
most people are watching the TV. It seems like most people are on social media and it seems all that, but whatever, if they are or aren't, most people are getting information from their news, especially about politics. And the Republicans, especially Greg Abbott, they have that ad money. They've got that digital ad money. They've got money coming from those two billionaires out in West Texas that do everything to control the narrative. This narrative has been in place for longer than I think we even realize, even back when Republicans were civil, like in the Bush era.
Right.
That's when all of this kind of started, and it's just gotten worse and worse, and it's turned our state into kind of a brainwashed red place. And also brainwashing for Democrats who believe that their vote doesn't count. That's also part of it.
Yeah.
It's not Democrats who have ever said that. It's the Republicans who have put that messaging out there.
Mm-hmm.
So to reach people to switch that narrative, that's a multi-pronged approach. There is no one answer to that. First, get elected, get a platform. I guess I can say one of the things that I'm doing, and this is more specific to my district, but I think it applies to our state as well. In my district, it's a very good mix of moderate Democrats and moderate Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is there is a center line you can walk to peel away voter base. And I've been told when you look at me, you can't really tell if I'm a Democrat or a Republican. So that helps at least open those conversations up to people who would otherwise not be listening to a Democrat.
I have purple hair, so I can't do that.
Yes, you cannot. I'm so sorry. No, but you probably could. It's just a scary thing, It's scary. It's scary for me, and I look like them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, step one, get elected. Step two, use everything I've got to appeal and to open up conversations, all of my, not just my people skills, but my emotional intelligence. That goes a long way. We don't see a lot of that in our male dominant leadership in this country. We just don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost non-existent, I would say.
Yeah.
But man, I'm going to have to think of a better answer to that question because girl, I don't know.
You got some time to think about it.
We're going to have to try different things and see what works,
Yep, for sure.
Sorry.
Hey, Bacon.
Good afternoon. How you doing? Thanks for having me, Jess. And I am going to introduce myself. I am 46, Kamala Harris. Voted for Kamala Harris from California. And I was an immigrant. I came here in 97, became a citizen in 2007, and I'm a disabled person as well. I want to ask you three questions. Number one, what is your platform for immigrant like myself, and would you open to sue this administration as soon as you are elected of what do you call this, abuse of power?
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, is that just one
Yeah,
question? Are you going to ask one
that's
at a
just a
time?
question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, at the state level, I won't be able to do a whole lot about our congressional, administration. It's really going to be our Congress people that have to stand up and take those things on. But, Texas, with our all of our funding going to border security all the time. We're very guilty of parroting this narrative that's fear mongering about immigrants, particularly Mexican immigrants, because our state borders Mexico. Um, and I don't know that I would yet have any grounds to sue the state legislature or Abbott for abuse of power until we see him, directly involved in National Guard, ICE stuff happening in Texas. But even so, I think the best thing to do when I get elected, and remember, if that happens, I'll be sworn in January of 2027. So we're talking about a good chunk of time between now and then when I can actually do anything. But I think it's important to focus first. Well, I would say two things. One, on switching up that narrative and removing that message that somehow immigrants are fearsome criminals who are taking all of our jobs. It's just not true. And there's a lot of Texas, business owners like construction businesses, landscaping businesses that know that's not true because they depend on those workers. And they're great people and they'll do anything to make it work in their new home. So I know there's people out there that don't buy into that narrative, and I can't explain the psychology behind them having firsthand experience with such lovely immigrants who will do all this work and then voting against their rights. I can't explain that. But I think first we got to switch that narrative. And second, we need to reform immigration in the country because we have so many people who have actually started immigration the legal way, but it's not their fault that it takes 10 or 20 years to actually get to be a citizen. And during that time, they have to do these check-ins. I mean, you know how it goes. You're an immigrant. So, the narrative around they're all illegal aliens, it's like, no, it's the system. It's the system that is keeping them from becoming citizens.
And it
So
costs
that's
so
what I,
much.
yeah,
Exactly. I'm sorry to cut you off, but because like $30,000, $40,000.
And
You know.
sorry.
yeah.
And I'm gonna what do you call this? I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. For me, it took about all in all 30 years.
Wow.
Then first, it my I came here as a permanent resident visa.
Mhm.
These people doesn't know the process to come here, quote unquote, legally. I'm gonna explain to you how the permanent resident visa or working visa and student visa. First, permanent resident visa, you have to have a sponsor, immediate family member.
Mhm.
They have to write the consul or the embassy, like for example, hey, this and this and this and this person I invited to stay with me permanently, or if you want to visit in the United States, they will have to write it down. You have to have a sponsor as well. Then you know how much it is to just come here with a visa. I came here $30,000.
It's very expensive.
It's expensive. Then for fast forward later, I'm not gonna monologue. I hate monologue. Fast forward later, I have to wait 10 years to become a citizen. When I first applied for citizen, it's $800. Now it's 1,700 per person. Now Donald Trump, I'm gonna say this administration put another 250 on top of $1,700 to apply. Then you have to pass civic test. 20 questions. One one false question that you didn't answer. You have to wait another 10 years.
Man, that's rough. We do not make
And
decisions
that's
like this.
and for those who are in the process, there will be a lucky one that will be passed because we have lot of personnel on our embassies. From the embassy towards here, we need judges and lawyers to have it. There's a backlog of paperwork, a lot. Now I'm gonna jump into my next question.
Okay.
Since I am disabled, since you are on the state level, what would you on the state level? What can you do to protect disabled rights on your side? Of course, there's I know Texas. There's like they removed the DEIA. So I just want to know what's your platform for the disabled
Well,
community.
my son is disabled. He's 4. He's autistic and non-speaking. And so I have always been a disability advocate. I mean, before I had kids, it was just something I was very drawn to. And I've, every, volunteer position I could ever get, it was always some organization that worked with the disability community on some level. And then, of course, full circle, I had a disabled kid. So it means a lot to me to be part of the community. And when we had our, this executive order of DEI rollbacks, it really upset me greatly because between that and the school vouchers, some of the first kids to feel the hammer on all these cutbacks will be our special ed kids. And like I said before, oppressing people, minorities, marginalized people is horrible, but when you hurt children, it's not going to happen. Not on my watch. So, like I said before, our Texas Constitution works in a little bit of a different way. We amend it a lot, frequently, because that's how we get most laws to work for a long period of time. It's almost as easy to undo an amendment as it is to propose one and vote one in. So I would say that after this time period where we are seeing this rollback of DEI and this attitude of exclusion towards our disability community, after so much work and progress for inclusion, I might add, there's so many organizations, so many nonprofits, so many advocates who have worked tirelessly for decades to bring more inclusion into the neurotypical world and the mainstream society. And for this one executive order to be handed down and complied with, it was really a slap in the face. So I would say when I'm elected and the dust is settling, again, given whatever's happening out there, I don't know what's going to happen between now and 2027. But I would like to propose an amendment that deals specifically with disability inclusion and DEI, and making it some kind of, whether it gets permanent state funding for resources, modalities, anything like that. That would be my first go-to to protect the disability community and my child, really.
Well, thank you for that, and I just want to say thank you to. I'm just gonna have two questions because you're in the state level. Um, I wanna say first, good luck to your kids. I know you have your disabled kid. I'm gonna say this and to the chat down below. If you have a disability or you have kids with a disability, encourage them.
Oh, yes.
Tell them that they are worthy. They're special.
I absolutely agree with you.
And for those who have disability, don't let your disability run your life. Run with it with a smile and keep your head up. Have
Thank
a
you.
great day, guys.
Sweet.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Bacon. Amazing.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, you would be amazed how many candidates that I talk to that are moms just like you that have kids who are on the spectrum or they have special needs or they're neurodivergent, neurospicy is what I like to call it, that were inspired to run because of the threat against their kid. Like that is a huge thing that people are inspired by, which is, I don't know that that's a good thing necessarily.
Well, I think it is. I think, I have always said this, and I have no really basis for it except for the types of candidates I'm seeing and the way I feel inside. Call it woman's intuition, but I really think it's the mothers that are going to save us all. I really
think
do.
what choice do we have? Like we're not going to sit back and let it all happen. We're not going to let it crash and burn. That's not,
No,
that's not how it goes.
There is a world forming around us that we are not helping to form, and it's horrifying. And I'm not going to let our children be swallowed up in it.
Yeah. Yeah, our job is to leave a better world for them, for sure. So what can you do when you are out canvassing and you're door knocking and you're talking to people in your district? Is inclusivity something that you bring up or that they bring up to you? And what can you do to encourage that without disenfranchising those that see inclusivity as a threat?
Well, to be frank with you, no, it's not something that people bring up mostly. What they want to talk about are property taxes, public school districts, economy, affordability, water. As you know, Texas, we got a lot of issues, not just with our water shortage, but our infrastructure. Those are the things people want to talk about. If it does come up that, I have a son who's autistic and that, maybe they have a foot in the disability community as well, then we always talk about that and how awful it is that DEI has been painted as some, threat. To be frank, no, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, or they don't think about it, because a lot of people don't have a foot in that world.
Yeah.
And even if you do, like I do, it's not the first thing I say to people. It's just, I don't know. It's like not the first thing that I feel I need to tell people about myself.
Yeah.
If it comes up, great. Love to talk about it. But yeah, I don't know. But then your question was, how do you talk about it without it being a threat to people who think it's a bad thing?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I don't care if they are threatened by it. I don't care. It is wrong. You are in a cult,
love it.
Get help. You're in a cult, get help. I will tell you how it is. So I don't, I know we all have to get elected, but there are some lines I'm not going to cross. I'm not going to make anybody feel comfortable because they think, DEI is like favoring a person of color over a white person for a job position. I'm not going to make them feel comfortable about not understanding that special education and special needs is included in DEI. Yes, it is. You should have known that. Like, I don't care if they're uncomfortable. I'm not here to make them feel comfortable about that.
Mic drop. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That is fantastic and definitely my favorite answer of that question so far. Just a little bit. Let me ask you before we switch gears over to our Activist Alley segment, what has been your favorite moment, aside from this one, of course, on the campaign trail so far?
Oh my gosh, this is up there. This is definitely up there. Let me see. I I do a lot of meet and greets, a lot of events. Obviously, every candidate does. We have to get up, we have to speak. And part of that is learning how to refine your message and get better and better every time and connect with more and more people and take tougher and tougher questions. Um, and last night, particularly, out of all the several events and speeches that I've done since April, and there's been a lot of them, last night was the first night that I left an event not replaying a part of my speech or a part of the night that I wish I had done differently. It was the first night ever in this whole campaign because I'm always beating myself up like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that, or I should have mentioned this, or like, that answer wasn't fully formed, or like I stuttered too much, or I was talking with my hands too much because they must have known I didn't know the answer. I didn't feel like that at all last night, and I don't know what's changed or what, but that was probably my favorite moment because I really felt the shift. I mean, listen, it's easier for some people to fake confidence and to fake it, to make it. I think I'm one of those people that I look and sound like I know what I'm doing. The truth is, I do not. I absolutely do not. But if you do it for long enough and you get informed and you listen to advice and you watch people who are more experienced than you, at some point, you do step into those shoes. And last night I felt I stepped into those shoes for the first time. So that was my favorite point so far.
That's amazing. Do you, but I'm like really curious. Do you have bigger plans after you? I mean, of course you're going to win, right? We're manifesting. You're
Say that,
going
yes.
to win. What comes after that? Like you're going to do your term and then what? Do we have a president, Allison Mitchell, in our future? I mean, come on, give us something.
I am wondering if we'll even have the same system that we have now.
Really?
After all of this is over. Yeah, I mean, I think we're really looking at some significant.
That's me.
What's that?
Sorry. That's me. My little puzzle piece has to move over and it makes a bunch of noise. I am so sorry about it's we love the TikTok shop, but they do that to me on purpose to keep us on our toes. What were I'm so
We got it,
sorry.
we got it. No, it's good. I think our system's going to completely look different. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I would love to see more of like a council of representatives rather than like one person at the top. I feel like we're all going to be really sensitive to the distribution of power after this is all over, and it will end one day and in our lifetimes. And I think we're all going to be very sensitive to how much power we allow one person to have, because even our framework for American government has not been able to withstand this takeover, and that is something none of us ever thought would happen. And so I think there's going to be a lot of changes to how we govern. And I would love to be on that council, maybe, if that's what happens. I do plan to stay in leadership of some kind for, the next few decades, if the people will have me, and grow in that context. So, maybe after some experience in the legislature, could it be Congress? If there is a Congress, who knows? Maybe. I'd like to.
I think that you have such an amazing charisma and just a way about you to really reach people where they are, and I really think we need more people like you in leadership.
Thanks, Jess.
All
I think
together.
we need more people like you in politics on social media.
Well, thank you. I would have run for
Absolutely.
office.
I agree with both of those
You
statements.
should.
I would have, but I have purple hair and a nose ring, and I'm in North Fort Worth.
All right. It's all right, girl. It's all right.
Plus, I'm from California. They just don't like me here. I gotta give myself a little more. I gotta grow a little more Texan roots before I take on something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, That's
You sound like
all.
a native already.
Hey,
Oh, Lord.
my grandmama's from here, so I can throw down an accent when I need to. So we're gonna go ahead and switch gears, if you don't mind. I would love to have you stick around for a few minutes if you're okay with that.
Yes.
Yeah, don't run out of here. I gotta ask you a couple questions. Don't
Oh,
run out of
sure.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, Jer,
You do
where's your?
what you do, Jess. You
Oh, there
direct
he
traffic.
is.
I just don't want her to leave before I ask.
Oh no, that's totally fair. I was looking for your partner in crime here.
He's in the
Um,
middle of a romantic dinner with his bride, and they both just dropped into your page. So
oh,
we're
did they?
sharing a romantic and private
Oh,
dinner with T Dub and Ray.
That's amazing. I love this for us. Let's be part of the mood here. Okay, Kayla, did you have a question? Let me see if we have. Um, did you have a question for our guest? Jamie does. What's your question, Jamie?
Nothing yet. I'll have stuff.
I had to mute his microphone. Sorry,
Yeah,
T
that's
Dub.
perfect, please.
he'll be ready when he's ready.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, hi guys.
Oh.
Hi. Oh, I hope it's a really good dinner. You don't, T Dubs. You don't have to.
You're on mute, brother.
Yeah.
It's a little loud in there, but that's okay. Your dedication is fucking
Forgot the
astounding.
time. I
Yeah,
messed up on the time, guys.
it's
It's
totally
all right,
fine.
brother.
Jer's got you, bro. It's totally fine. Go ahead and have your wonderfully romantic dinner with your beautiful, amazing wife who could bench press me in 2 seconds. And
All
you
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys,
you
you
easy.
guys have
I
a great
give her
time,
a
okay?
challenge at least. Give her a
I'll
challenge.
pop back up later.
No
All right,
worries. You're
brother.
good. You're good. Okay, so Jamie wanted to know what your experience is in government.
Oh, none.
Oh, none. Even
Yeah,
better.
but I
Even
think that
better.
that's
None.
fantastic. We
I have
honestly
no experience.
we need people who are just like us to run for, and sure it's a learning curve, and sure it's, we go into a new place and we don't know what we're doing, but gosh, we're not going to be corrupted by big money or the way things have always been.
You
And
know, my experience is I've never served in a seat or even run for an election of any kind. Not even like student council or anything like that. Was not even into that in school. But my experience is so much different than every candidate that runs for office. Everyone's an attorney but me. I have a lot of business experience. I worked in the fashion industry and grew my business in there, which sounds very glamorous, but fashion is a gritty, tough
Yeah.
business. It is a no mercy industry. It is fast paced. You have got to sell your collection and balance your consignment sales every season, every year. And one, misstep and you're either out or you've run out of money. I mean, it's just like go, go, go. And it's hard to carve a foothold in it. And then something I didn't mention, Jess, you may not know this about me, but or maybe I did tell you, I can't remember now because I've been telling my story way too much.
I feel ya.
Who did I tell
I,
what when?
a what?
Who did I tell what when?
I know, it's like I don't know who you guys are or where I am.
Right.
But
That's fair.
in a former life, like in my 20s, like early 20s, before I was married or anything, I actually went to culinary school and I worked out in Napa at Thomas Keller's restaurant, and then Chef Morimoto, who's one of the original Iron Chefs in Napa,
Yeah.
California. And when I came back to Dallas, I did really high end catering, like super high end, like the prices where like only the Bush Institute could afford
Wow.
that kind of catering. A lot of like tweezers placing pea tendrils on a canopy
Microgreens.
type of thing.
That's wild.
Microgreens.
Yeah,
No.
so I've worked in those kitchens, and every kitchen is an underworld. It is rough. It is it's mostly men, and I've been screamed at. I've had tongs thrown at my head. I've been locked in the walk-in as punishment. I've had a burnt steak thrown at me. I didn't do it. The chef thought I did. And, it's it's a wild place, and everything you see on TV is exactly accurate. It's just they call it the underworld for a reason. But I'll tell you, it will teach you to fall in line, because the kitchen is based on military structure, and the chef is your general. And if you do not follow orders, you're out. And there's no HR, there's nothing like that. So that'll make you pretty tough. And I have a pretty thick skin, and just the skills of quickly fixing things that go wrong because we have service. Like, all the other plates are going out, something fell on the floor, you got to make a plate really quick. Like, even though it's not like saving lives in an ER, it's kind of that stress level, because you can't.
High stress. Yes.
Yeah. So that experience really taught me a lot about myself, and also just how to function in a high stress environment. Also, my dad is a neurosurgeon, and he is, I feel like he passed to me this ability to be calm in really high stress situations, because that's what he does for a living. So, my experience is not in government, but it's pretty valid, I would say, to be in government.
You've been in a frying pan or two.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
I don't necessarily think governmental experience is even something anybody's looking for anymore. I think, honestly, whether you ask someone who is a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, I think they would all prefer to have someone who's not the pretend outside of the system, but just a real human being that understands what it's like to struggle, understands what it's like to make big gains and then have setbacks, and just understands life and hasn't been washed away in the theater of the politics for 30 years and is worth $25 million due to the investments that they've made. So I think you're a very fresh breath of air. And I don't know if you saw the comment, but I'm curious if I'm going to get a knock at my door. I'm in Bedford. Do I get a knock at my door?
No, you're out of the district, unfortunately. So sorry.
There's still time to move, though. There's time to move, Jer.
I'm about through my computer. There's time to
just move. You just,
There's time to move.
We need to look up who your rep is. If you're out in Bedford, I have TJ Ware running against Beth Van Dyne for Congress. Right. I know TJ. I was at an event with him a couple weeks ago.
He's going to be on the show later in the month.
Mouthful for me. TJ really disappointed me. He's my buddy, and I still think I'm supporting him. But we got to have a conversation, because he said a couple out of pocket things that I was like, wait. I'm not a big Republican or Democrat person. Like, I think labels are half of the fucking problem right now. But I was like, whoa, isn't that a D by your name? And did you just say you agree with Mike Johnson's 12 principles of being a conservative?
I think TJ, isn't he like former Republican? I think he says that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know him well at all. I was at an event with him once, and then he invited me to candidate karaoke, which I did not go to.
Super cool guy, great heart, but identifying with fucking Mike Johnson, the Keebler elf, is a real troubling fucking statement to make out loud. Like,
yeah.
I might have to ask him that when he comes on the show.
Yes, absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Hold his feet to the fire a little bit.
I was shocked. I was like, whoa, that's probably not going to help you, brother. Like I'm saying this from a messaging point of view. If I was somebody that didn't know you and I heard that you agree with Mike Johnson on just about anything, that may run you aground pretty quick. So it's more of a concern for his race than anything. But that was just a troubling sentence.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
So you're not here for me, son of a. Hopefully, I feel the effects of some of your good work and your great fucking attitude.
Oh, thanks.
Because
so kind.
I'm saying, and I know you hear it 9 million times in your life. What actress do you look like?
Oh my God, I do hear that all the time.
It's killing me, girls. Is it Rachel McAdams or something like that?
So no, I've gotten Emma Stone a lot, and Lindsay Lohan before plastic surgery.
I can see that.
I feel like it's the Notebook girl almost.
Oh, do you? Well,
Yeah.
I've
I
gotten
don't know
like
who
Anne
that
Hathaway
is, but
before, which I don't agree with at all. But like,
yeah, I
thanks, they're
don't
all
think
beautiful. Like, I will absolutely take that compliment. Thank you. That
Yeah,
is so
yeah.
kind.
so.
But my
So
whole life, it's either been like, you look just like, or do
I
you?
knew it.
Is your
I knew
name
you'd
such
get
and
it.
such? Like, it's,
Yeah.
I guess I have like a familiar looking face. I mean, my whole life, I get stopped in grocery stores, I get stopped in restaurants. I mean, I'm
Hey,
40 years old. This has been happening forever.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And
It just
hey,
means you're
even though you're
approachable.
not in my district, you got all my support. If you need help door knocking, Jess knows how to get in touch with me.
Oh,
If
Sure
yeah.
do.
I'm a veteran, if you need somebody to knock people out of the way,
We have
She's like,
been looking
actually,
for. I'm like, actually, before you
actually,
go,
wait
or
a
before I
second.
go, if I could just ask. So, I'll just be transparent with everybody listening. One of the hardest things about being a woman in politics, especially during door knocking and call time, is that when it comes to the men, particularly
right?
the white men,
Yeah,
um,
they don't like to hear what you have to say,
they
sweetheart.
don't. They're not so
Sweetie,
open. And what I'm
sweetie.
finding is when I knock on doors is like they'll talk to me, but they don't really want to talk. They want to argue or they
Yeah,
want to debate. And these are Democrats.
yeah.
I'm
Man,
No,
not
I
same.
get it.
talking to Republicans yet. I'm talking
Yeah,
to male white men Democrats, and I have a
yeah.
feeling
Fuck the
that
truth.
they're not immune to this kind of red pilled narrative that's gone out and
No,
grabbed all of these
no.
young boys and men and told them
That's
if you don't get on this train you're not a man. Like, they're not immune to it.
That's why
Mm-hmm.
Kamala's not in office. That's exactly why
Right.
she's not in office. It's
Yep.
Right.
fucking
and
misogyny. It's
and
fucking
it's
gross.
I can understand that, but it's just so anyway. What I'm
Sorry.
asking is, we've been trying to find a white man who's like, kind of like you, who it's like you can't really tell if you're a Democrat or Republican.
Hold
You're a
on.
vet. Who,
Hold on.
maybe we could send you to some dudes' doors for
Hold on.
us.
Hold on. I'm gonna get on my friend here in a second, but
Yeah, there's
the fact that you didn't already know about this picture,
What is that?
MAGA
you're gonna
presenting
have to
mayhem.
full screen it for a second, Jess, for her
I
to see the
certainly
top
will, because it's
that
about
she's
time for
about.
Activist Alley, so I'll go ahead and do that so you could see it. But Allison, this is MAGA presenting mayhem.
MAGA passing.
MAGA passing. I can read.
Oh, I get it.
I
That
read.
is clever.
So my buddy T that was at dinner, he and I we just dropped our first podcast this week, but we've been going live and we go live and we just try to have conversations with folks. And the thing that spurs it is just what you said. People will listen longer solely based on what we fucking look like, our veteran background. We're from the South, and they'll listen longer based on those things. And we could be horrible human beings, and they wouldn't give a shit less. Whereas someone like you, who's a great human being trying to work for their best interest, they won't listen to because you
It's
are
fine.
late. And
Yeah.
it's
It's just
so
the truth of it. It's
yeah.
nothing
So we
personal.
just try
This
to
is the truth. No, I'm thinking like, could we get you door knocking and also maybe calling some of the lawyers that are on my list? Because
please,
those
please.
guys are hard to get to pick up the phone, and I'm sort of facing how do I put it? There's another Democratic camp in this district that is heavily influential with the lawyers,
Okay.
but has a very bad reputation with pretty much everybody else in our
Right.
district.
Gotcha.
And they, particularly this one woman, has been trying desperately to push me off the trail
Movement, yes.
to the point where I think she might file herself. I hope she doesn't, but she's been trying to intimidate me. She's sent people to me to have
Wow.
conversations with. Yes, this has been happening since like May. So the thing is, like, her husband is a really prominent lawyer in town, and they are definitely talking to all the lawyers, negatively about me and telling them like, don't support her, whatever. And it's not every lawyer, and we kind of know who it is and who it isn't. But if we could have somebody like you calling on behalf of me, I really
Absolutely.
think that would change a lot of the perception.
Absolutely. I would absolutely love to. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna
Can't wait to tell my campaign manager we found somebody. We found him.
Yay!
yep, I'm already following you, Allison.
Oh, good.
So yeah, send me a message in here, and I'll send you a link so we can actually, or and I'll talk to your campaign manager, whoever.
Yeah.
And yeah, let me know.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm
Allison,
all
you've got some
all
folks
about
in the chat who are willing to
better.
fight for you, so they're going to take
Great.
off their earrings and knuckle up. So
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Man.
that is amazing. So let me give you just like I know you kind of talked a little bit about this already, Jer, but let me kind of give a little intro for you, because we are going to kind of switch gears for a little bit here and go into our activist alley section. I know it's a little bit late, but that's totally fine. We have this amazing team of dudes here. I know T-Dubs isn't here. We miss him. He's having a fabulous time with his wife, and that is totally
Right?
okay. So you're gonna have to hold the mantle all by your lonesome,
I'll
which
do the
I have
best I can.
no doubt at all that you
I'll
can
do the
do.
best I can.
But I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to bring you guys up here because first of all, I absolutely love what you guys do. You guys talk to MAGA, and I don't have the patience for that. I'm like, like I have family members who are MAGA, and I just can't. I can't. I have zero patience for
Right.
that. So I love what you guys do. I love that you can speak to them at a human level and you can, try to build the bridge for them. But what I want to
Right.
know, how did that start? Like, how did MAGA Passing Mayhem begin? And what can you tell people to inspire them to get involved in this political climate?
Well, so MAGA passing mayhem kind of began out of two or three things that took place. Um, First one being I saw Danny in a live, and I don't know if you know Danny Cook, but she would be a great person. Danny, the Danny Cook live or Danny Cook live on TikTok or at DANI. She's got podcasts. She's on every platform you can pick. She's on a
She's
platform.
amazing.
She's a veteran as well, and she's an amazing woman, and she's a political consultant, and she's amazing on messaging. Like that is her superpower. Her superpower is conveying messages. She's amazing. But
I'll definitely reach out.
I just accidentally popped in a live of hers one day, and they were talking about race issues, and I from the chat said, "Hey, I have a question. Can I ask a question?" And she said, "Come on up." And she will tell you from her own mouth, so I'm not speaking out of pocket, but she said she took a deep breath, and her thought was a fucking another one. and and I get it. I get it. And that's what brought about the MAGA passing is whether it's a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or a humanitarian, the initial thought, it's not, it's not limited to just color, but the initial thought is this guy's a fucking MAGA. I mean, that's just the initial thought.
Mhm.
And I asked her, I said, what is the best thing I can do to advocate for people of color? I said, in all honesty, I just want to know how best to advocate because I don't want to spin my fucking wheels or harm the cause. And she said, the very best thing you can do is talk to people that look like you. She said, that's the very best thing a white Southern veteran can do is talk to people that look like him, that will listen to him. Because they won't listen to her just based on the fact that she's a woman and B, biracial. And so even though she's 10 times the stud I am on the battlefield, they still would rather listen to me because I have some more testosterone or whatever their fucking gig is, man.
It's the facial
I don't
hair.
get it.
I think it's the
I
facial
don't get
hair.
it. I got the
Facial hair
beautiful beard.
helps.
Yeah. And so I took that to heart. I really took it to heart, and I started dropping in lives. And I found my way to one that was it was a whole thing on biracial relationships, interracial relationships, and it was heated. And by the end of that conversation, we were joking and laughing and friends. And one lady in that live said, "Please tell me that you'll just do this as much as you can." She said it makes such a difference. And what we did here today, just the conversation between the seven of us that lasted beyond everybody leaving the live, was the most important thing. And so I told her I would, and then I ran across T Dubs, and he made a post, and if I can get my computer to function for 2 seconds, Jess, which we all know probably isn't going to happen, but if I can, um, I'd love to play the audio from his post for Allison and for the folks because it's uh it's fucking
Sure.
powerful and it's truthful.
So while you're
T,
getting that
yeah, go ahead.
queued up, can we ask Allison one more question?
Yes, please. Yes,
Um,
please.
what is your view on education? FKTT wants to know.
Well, I'm so glad you asked because it's my top issue. I believe in fully funding education, which in Texas we no longer do, thanks to the vouchers legislation. However, beyond just throwing money at public schools, I would really like to overhaul American education and curriculums. And what I mean by that is reevaluate the goals that we're shooting for when it comes to churning out our young generations and what we want for them. So right now our curriculum kind of focuses, I mean, it's good goals, things like critical thinking and independent learning. But I think we also need to be looking at some of the top ranking countries on the global stage that have the best education in the world and pull in some of the modalities that they are using and refine them to fit in American education. So that would be countries like Finland, the Netherlands, South Korea. I would love to play a large role in advocating and really overhauling American education. And, you know, particularly in Texas, we're like bottom half of education, which is so terrible. And I have to say on a personal note, so I actually went to private school. In Dallas, we have some of the nation's best private schools right here, just locally. And I went to one of them. So I was very lucky and I had an excellent education with endless opportunities, with so much robust, well-rounded knowledge, and continued on to a liberal arts college where I had that same experience. Just it was just endless knowledge, and that is not being given for free in our public schools, and it should be. It absolutely should be. All of those opportunities should be available to all children for free. And so that is my view on education. I want to make that happen.
I love that.
Yeah.
Man, I know you're just starting, but I'm fucking excited.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see where she goes.
Excited. Yes,
and FKTT,
exactly.
you're absolutely right. They do make kids with special needs take standardized tests, and I think that is absolutely abhorrent. But that's just my 2 cents. Overhauling education is going to be
my mantra. Is not on my watch.
Yep,
That's
I love it.
that's your gig. Not on my watch.
Yep,
Yeah.
I
it's
love
mom
it.
time.
I'm gonna be hashtagging not on my watch all over the place.
I
Mom
should do
tonight.
that, shouldn't I? You know how
Yes.
what was Obama's "Yes We Can"
Mhm.
and Kamala's
Yes,
was "We're not going back."
Yeah, yeah.
Miles
Allison
Not
Mitchell,
on my
not on
watch.
my watch. Love it.
It helps.
You have a new campaign
Right.
slogan right here on my
I do.
show.
Thank you guys. Wow, this has been such a
Amazing.
productive live.
I
love
love
it.
it.
I
My
love it.
so T Dubs, his gig is, since he's not here, I got to fill in a little bit for him. But his gig is, girl, you can leave me on the small. Everybody would much rather look at
I know.
Miss Allison Mitchell than me.
Oh, please,
I-
no.
We're gonna be listening to T here anyway. Here he is. This is the catalyst behind MAGA passing mayhem.
Okay.
Oh shit! And of course I got it muted. It never fucking fails, y'all. I'm telling you. This is not my. Here you go.
Hello, friends. Do you suffer from empathy? A love for fact-based reasoning and knowledge? You happen to have white skin, blue eyes, perhaps a beard that requires grooming. Then you, my friend, may be suffering from what's known as MAGA passing man. Not to worry, you suffer from being a MAGA activist. And these are the things that I've included. One, there's no need to be ashamed of being a MAGA pastor. It's not your fault if you're being judged on your physical aesthetic alone. Number two, it's time for you to come out. Let people know that although I understand I am white as a bale of hay, I have my pinto beans and cornbread, and I have a beard that is envy of most people. I'm not MAGA. And it's okay not to be MAGA. Matter of fact, there's a large group of people that thoroughly enjoy the fact that you are not MAGA. So please, my fellow MAGA passing brothers, come out. Let us know who you are. Y'all have a good day.
Oh my god. That is so good.
That was amazing.
That's hilarious. It's like a support group.
It is,
man.
It is.
He's one of a
Like a
kind.
12-step program.
He's one of a kind.
That's so
There's
funny.
12-step programs all over the place, Allison.
Oh
we
my
have
gosh.
one for colonizers that we're beginning.
I love that.
First step is admitting that you have a problem with
Yeah.
colonization. That's the first step. You know,
Right.
you have to admit that you have a problem.
I'm gonna start a support. Well, I shouldn't do it. It's gonna have to be a white dude, but there's got to be a support group for all these red-pilled white Christian nationalist boys and young men who have, it's gonna be called something like, were you told that you're both a victim and entitled at the same time?
At the same
Anyone
time.
can fall for it.
Yep.
It's okay. It's okay. There are many of us.
There are many of
Did
us.
Did they tell you that you are not only superior and in need of protection all at the same time?
Right.
Okay. Tell me more, please.
Tell me more.
You poor little boy.
We
so
have
funny.
the answer for you.
So that was the start of MAGA Passing Mayhem, and he and I just started going live every Wednesday, and we'd have a list of headlines and people bop in and out, and we were just going on or whatever. And he's at work one day, and his wife called him, and she is an absolute superstar. Just so you know, you see how I struggle on the computer? She does all the other. She does all that stuff, and she's supportive. And she just won a bodybuilding competition like 3 weeks ago. She's just amazing. It's Rachel_White_, and she is a beautiful human being inside and out. But
Nice.
she called T at work and she said, "Hey, I'm tired of you just rambling late in the night about how you and Jay should really do something and you think it could be more. So I just set you up a YouTube page and a Substack. So you're going to be recording on Monday and your mics and headphones are in the mail."
That's awesome.
And so
sometimes you just need that person who's climbing up the hill with a gun. You know what I mean?
Just diabolical, but absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
Just shoving you into shark-infested waters. Just here you go. Have fun.
Yeah.
Mics are in the mail.
And so T calls me after she talks to him, and he says, I kind of just got marching orders, but I don't know how to tell you what to do because you're a grown man. But this is what my wife told me to do." And I said, "Okay, man." I said, "Of course I'm going to listen to Miss Rachel. She's a stud. Of course I'm going to listen to her."
Yeah.
And I think it went really great. We obviously have to grow. We have to do better. But it's great. And the whole thing is just trying to talk about things from a perspective of humanity first, common sense, and that we all deserve dignity, respect, compassion, and my version of basic fucking needs. Because what they call basic needs don't cut it for me.
I agree.
So, that's really what the drive is behind it. And me and him are able to, anybody telling us something or calling us a name, we've been through fucking boot camp. You're not gonna outdo my fucking drill sergeant. I'm sorry. You're not gonna run me down more than he fucking did. So have at it. And our goal is to build bridges, man. We're not offended by their shit. I'm offended by misinformation. So I'll drop folks pretty quick for misinformation if they don't acknowledge when I fact check them. But beyond that, we just try to have conversations with folks. We try to encourage folks, and then I go live every morning. I'm recovering from a fractured spine and nerve damage.
So sorry.
And a traumatic brain injury. So I'm not working right now. So I have the benefit of just being here
With your beautiful dog.
with my beautiful Luna.
Your beautiful little Luna. She's so great.
somewhere
We love
sleeping.
her.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
your recovery is incredible. I never would have guessed that you had had a traumatic brain injury. You must have
Um,
worked so hard.
it's been about 3 years, and
Wow.
I had to learn to play the guitar again. I used to play music all around the state, and I had to learn how to play all over again. I had to
Oh my
learn how to
God.
write. I had to learn how to read again, and it was it's difficult, but and I forget shit all the time. Like I know
Well,
people
me
tell
too, and I've never had a brain injury.
I don't
right,
have any
people say
excuses.
that,
So
people say that, but I'm like, no, you don't. You like, it's not like, hey, I forget why I walked into this room.
Hmm.
It's like, hey, I forget what city my house is in sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So it's
That's
like,
tough.
so it's a little difficult when that goes. But like, I'm as long as I get, a decent amount of sleep, I eat right, I do different things, I continue to do puzzles, I read. So, I do everything they tell me to do. So, and then I do one or two things I'm not supposed to.
Well,
But
that's okay. We
you
won't
gotta
tell about
live.
that. Yeah.
right, hey man, I am a big advocate, and I hope if you get into office, I hope that you are a huge help with this. And I will just tell you from a veteran standpoint, from a rehab standpoint, from a PTSD standpoint,
I know where he's
from a
going.
TBI standpoint,
Yeah.
the banning of all THC products and hemp in Texas is
Oh,
fucking
Legalize it.
it's so
horrible.
insane.
It's
Legalize it.
horrible.
I
Yes.
don't know what they think they're doing with that. Nothing could be less
Well,
popular. It's
I
like,
mean, when the liquor lobbyist tells you what to do, you
Then you bend over
fucking snap too,
backwards.
daddy.
it's
You
Mm-hmm.
fucking
so
snap
dumb.
too.
No, I mean, you
Crazy.
should legalize it, one, because it's the right thing to do and it actually helps. It's not
Right.
just that's in PTSD, but for tremors, for
Yeah.
Parkinson's,
Yeah.
all of those things. But also can be tax
Yeah.
revenue.
Look at
Right.
Use
California.
more of
Making
it.
Sunday schools? Are you
Yeah.
fucking shooting me? You mean I'm not gonna have to read about another school closure in Texas
I
maybe if
know,
we do
right?
that?
Right.
And
You know?
you should see some of the proposition for amendments that are out there. Like half of them are for tax bans for the wealthy, basically. So more shifting of the tax burden onto average people
It
and
does.
banning the THC industry is like, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Um,
it's crazy.
would you mind when you talk to your campaign manager, would you mind if they would, or we can talk first and then I can ask them.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to put more on you. But as far as all of the propositions that are up for a vote, I'd really love to just know your platform on them so I don't misspeak for you.
Why, I'm so glad you brought this up because I am putting out videos breaking down each proposition two at a time into little bits. So I think I just put out 8 and 9 today. So we're like more than halfway through or about halfway through. I'll get to
Big
17. I've
love.
been putting out like 2 videos a day, so like 4 props a
Big love.
day. And
I
what I
love
do
it.
is I explain what it is, shorter
Right.
sentences, and give pros and cons for each one, and then explain my thought process, and then which way I'm going to vote on
Big
them.
W
Awesome.
for Allison in the chat. That's amazing.
Allison.
Like, your timing is amazing.
I
I
know.
love it.
Well, your timing's amazing. So yeah, I mean, they're on my TikTok, they're on my Instagram, they're on my Facebook, and
Awesome.
it's also, I have to say, been so interesting watching the responses that I'm getting across all 3 social media platforms. Like, it's just been fascinating. Like,
Responses are wild.
I have to
They
tell you, like
are
on TikTok, all of the comments are vote no all the way down, all the way down. Don't give him an inch. And there's a lot of like other political candidates and some left leaning influencers that are also saying that, but without explaining anything.
right.
Because they're claiming that they're all written by Republicans and they're all basically ways for them to misuse and abuse tax revenue.
Right.
The truth is that many of them have bipartisan support, and a good handful were proposed by the Democrats. So
And-
that's the truth.
Yeah, and here's my thing. I don't care who proposes what. Like
Right.
I told you, I hate a label. I absolutely, like, people get on me all the time in my lives. They're like, well, snowflake liberal, or you effing conservative, because I piss them all off because I'm nothing. I care about humanity. I care about human beings, and that's all. And there's more nuance to who wrote the prop than were they a Republican or Democrat. And the nuance is so important, and it's lost with that, oh, I'm just going to vote no. Guess what, guys? Nobody's leaving the island. Nobody's getting voted off the fucking island. We're all going to be here
Right.
after the fucking midterms.
Exactly.
We're all going to be here after 2028.
Yeah.
So how about we build a bridge? How about we realize everybody can have a good idea every now and then? And if it is beneficial for human beings, let's fucking vote for it. You know?
Yeah.
So
Love it.
that's my uneducated backwoods fucking take, you know?
I mean, I don't think it's uneducated. I think you're brilliant and you have emotional intelligence, which is many times more important than book knowledge.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. I
Hard to come
appreciate
across
that.
these days.
It is.
So
And I apologize for the sis. You're gonna have to suffer with it.
I'm honored. I'm honored to
Okay.
be called sis
All
by MAGA
All right.
Mayhem.
MAGA
Passing.
passing MAGA passing man. Yes. Awesome. Well, we're gonna
Yes,
go ahead and
you are also a full-fledged member of the club.
I know.
Just by proxy. So Wednesday nights at 8, Friday nights around 10, and Sundays around 1, and then we drop the podcasts on Tuesdays.
where
Nice.
can we watch your podcast?
You can go to the little link tree that Miss Rachel White set up for me and tap on
Figure
our
it
link
out yourselves.
and it will take you directly to the tube of you. It'll take you directly to the tube of you.
She says
I
it's right
love
there.
it that you popped in right on time.
You
That's my girl.
Oh, I love it. That's fantastic.
There, Sandy, it should be, if you go to my page, you should just be able to click on the link,
Lord.
and it'll take you right. It'll just
In
follow
your bio, right? The link in your
my
bio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just follow the prompts in the bio, or you can just go to some of my random posts because I've just dropped it in there just randomly. Because you never know.
Sure.
You never know.
Never know.
Lord. Link tree. All right, awesome. Well, let's close it up for the evening, guys. This has been so much fun. But
Yeah.
before
No,
we
I
let
really
you,
enjoyed it. I don't want to
it's been
leave.
so fun. I know, right? We could do
Hey,
this for
I gotta
hours.
give my kids a bath though.
I know.
We're
Right?
hey, after you get the little ones down, MAGA Passing Mayhem will be live. You and the husband can enjoy some adult beverages
Yes.
and have a laugh, and feel free to come on up and share more if you're not tired of sharing.
Yeah, I love it.
Love it.
And,
Love
and
it.
force the husband on screen too. We love the man behind the powerful women. The
That's
man
right.
helping the powerful
The
women
man
succeed.
behind
We love
He's a
that.
good one.
the
Next time
woman.
I'll have to get him to jump in.
Awesome.
He's from Boston, so he's got a real
I
thick
love it.
accent.
Oh man, I just
I
want to
love
hear it.
that.
I
Oh,
just
that's
wanna hear
amazing.
it. That's awesome.
Amazing. So we are getting close to time here, folks. But before we go, Allison, if you wouldn't mind telling the good people how they can get involved in your campaign and what they can do to support you.
Well, the website is AllisonMitchell4Texas.com, all spelled out. And on there, you'll find a donation link. If you would like to send us a donation, it will go to buying yard signs. It will go to buying collateral for door knocking. We always pass out literature for that stuff. It will go to feeding and hydrating our volunteers, and many other uses for campaigns. If you are in the area and you would like to volunteer, there is a volunteer page. We always list our, yes, I know you do. There is a volunteer link and an email that you can email, and you can introduce yourself, tell us kind of, if you have a special skill set, or just like, I want to help. I don't know how to help. That's great. And we have all of our upcoming events listed on the page. Any meet and greets, anything y'all are in town for, please feel free to come. You can RSVP through it, or you can just show up. I don't care. It never is a problem. But yeah, AllisonMitchell4Texas.com.
I love it.
Amazing. Amazing.
Hey, I do want to direct you. I'm sorry, Jess. I do want to direct you to one more person. Her page, just because she's running as well. She's never ran before, and the way she's running her campaign, I think, has a very a great hook. I think it's a great hook, and her name is Kat Abagazala.
Okay. I have to write that one
So
down.
don't ask me how to spell it. I couldn't do it if I had to.
Okay.
I don't even know how I type it. Like when I share her out, like I don't even know what I spell. But it's cat K. It's cat KAT.
Uh-huh.
Abba Abagazala.
Okay, I can spell that in my head. I'll find her.
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah.
But she's running in the ninth district in Illinois for Congress,
Mm-hmm.
and she used to, or is still a journalist that did a commentary. Used to do a commentary for her magazine or newspaper on the Tucker Carlson show.
Oh.
Yeah, so she said she would do it, so we didn't have to. And
Nice.
and so she's running up there, and one of her big things is she is pushing people that are running to do the good now. The good you're talking about doing later, do it now. And so what she does at her events, she charges folks feminine products. She charges canned goods. She does things like that. She
Love
does,
that.
and so I just think the more people that are like-minded like y'all, working for the betterment of all people and a better tomorrow. I think when y'all can link and share ideas between each other, you both do better.
I
And so I
agree.
just want to make sure that you have all the tools in your toolbox, girl, because I really want to see you succeed. I'm super impressed with you as a human being, and I'm just excited.
Thank you so much. I will definitely be reaching out to her and the other people you mentioned for sure.
Awesome.
Definitely. Amazing. Well, thank you guys. This is just a reminder, everybody, there's no secret how we feel about big money in politics. We want candidates who are going to serve the people and not special interests. But that money has to come from somewhere. So whether it's your wallet or your time, even a follow, sharing their content gets more eyes on them and pushes their message across the interwebs. And you can do that for free, folks.
For free.
For free. The time for change is now. We all have to work together. Wouldn't you agree, Allison?
Absolutely, Jess.
Yes, absolutely. I would be remiss if I did not send a special thank you to our amazing mod, the Kayla, the incredible content
Yes.
creators that came here tonight to join us, the incredible candidates who were in the chat as well. Thank you all so much for helping us change the world. You guys are incredible. Please send much love to all of these people in our comments. Follow, like, you know, the things. Also, make sure you're still registered to vote and keep an eye on the election schedules in your area. You can check your voter registration status by going to vote.gov. This was incredibly inspiring, and I had so much fun with you guys tonight. But I want to touch on something that's a little bit serious. There's a lot of really scared people right now. Like, there's a lot of really scared people, and I want to remind you all that the fear is the point, right? Fear leads to panic. Panic leads to inaction, but hope and community are the antidote for all of it. So take that with
Yes,
you.
fuck. She did.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. There's another one for you, Allison. We're on a roll
I like
tonight.
it.
Yes. So join us
Hire
on
you guys.
Monday. I know, it's been so great. Thank you so much. Join us on Monday when we talk to a woman running for Congress who's looking to flip the reddest district in the entire country. And it's going to be, I mean, she's amazing. She's a nurse and she has purple hair. So, I mean, you're going to want to be here for that.
Love it.
This has been so amazing. You guys are going to be able to catch the show again on YouTube, Spotify, and Substack. We'll have clips that are going to be coming out. Allison, you are a gem. You are such a breath of fresh air. We need more people like you to run for, all the things. So if you are feeling like anybody who's in the chat right now, if you're feeling like you want to get involved, but you don't have any experience, please look at this amazing woman right here and know that you can do it. Okay? We have to be the ones that come to our rescue. It has to be us. Nobody's coming to save us. It has to be us. So I just thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And yeah, that's Murder She Wrote. Oh, just one more thing before we go. If you could just, like, you know, pop over to Spotify or Substack and leave us a little review, that would be great. But also, the dates have been selected for the People's Sick Day. So if you are not signed up on the Discord for the People's Sick Day, it's thepeoplesickday.com. It's a 3-day economic and labor blackout. It is a great way to throw a wrench in this bish. We saw what happened with Disney and Jimmy, and we can do it. So
Italy just did it.
absolutely. So
The country of Italy.
Italy
Yeah.
just did it. I mean, yes, we can
It's
definitely do
happening
it.
all
So
over.
so check out thepeoplesickday.com to learn more. They have a Facebook page, they have a Discord. Make sure you're involved. And of course, don't lose hope and take care of each other. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Allison. Thank you,
Thank
Jer.
you guys.
Thank you,
Love you,
T-Dubs
Joe.
and Rachel. You guys are amazing, and we will talk
Get
next
a
time.
hold of me.
All
Bye.
right. Bye, guys.